I've been writing music for such a long time. It started off with like I couldn't even like play an instrument, so I just wrote like poems and stuff. Like I always liked like creative writing at school and stuff. And then I watched like Taylor Swift videos, and I was like, I need to learn how to play guitar. Um, so my parents got me a guitar for Christmas when I think I was like 10 years old, and I started having lessons, and then I could like write an actual song. Like I mean, they were terrible, obviously, but once I could play guitar, I could sort of write a song. And that was probably when I was like 11 or something. So I guess like 10 years now. My writing process is kind of different every time. I normally will just randomly have ideas that I write down, and then obviously if I'm kind of out or something, I'll come back to it later and kind of go through and be like, oh, what do I want to work on? And I don't know, I normally just kind of hit record on like a voice memo and then just see what comes out for a little bit, and then kind of go back and be like, oh, that was good, I'll keep this bit, whatever. I always have like a rhyme dictionary up on my laptop because it's always needed. If I could open for like any artist, this is so hard. I think Alessi Rose, I really like her. I've seen her live before and she was amazing. Like her she really kind of brings you into like the world of the music. So I'd love to open for her. Or Nivella. Guilty pleasure songs. I don't even feel guilty about it, to be fair, but I love like 2010s pop, like Jonas Brothers and like 5 Seconds of Summer, like One Direction. That's still blasting in my room, like from time to time. Oh, my favourite venue I've played. Well, okay, I really like the Sunflower Lounge in Birmingham, just because it's like such a cool venue where like a lot of big artists played like at the start of their careers, and I'm doing like my first headline show there in a couple of months, so I'm really excited. But like my favourite shows have been like festivals last summer, which was so fun. So production wise, I work with producers. Like I can do a little bit myself, but like not to the level. So I've worked with a few different producers. For this one, I worked with Jamie Sellers, who also did my previous single, Girl Best Friend. He was amazing. I was like introduced to him by like a lecturer at uni, and he's amazing. Like I just kind of played him like all these like Olivia Rodrigo kind of songs, and I was like, this is the kind of vibe I want. And then like he's like, you literally go in and like you just create the whole track in a day. I did the vocals, and then he also like mixed it over like the next couple of weeks. And I think it was, when did I go and do that? I think maybe like November or October that I went. So and it was really cool because with the middle as well, like I didn't write it that long ago, so it felt like a cool like process to have it like turned around that quick for me, like relatively quickly for me anyway. Opening for Courtney Hadwin was really cool. It was a very cool show. Like I loved, well, first of all, getting to like obviously see her perform was amazing because she's a powerhouse. And like her whole team was like really nice. And it was a really cool show, yeah. Like it was like an acoustic one, so it was me and my drummer like doing like percussion, which is like a cool little combo. It was in Sheffield, so I like got to go home for the night, which was quite nice. And yeah, it was just really cool. Like it was definitely like one of the sort of bigger artists that I've opened for, which was a really cool experience, and like kind of getting to see how the like big tours work. Like I was chatting to like some of her like band and team and stuff, and you know, they're exhausted from like being on the road and stuff. But it was cool to have like that insight into like how that works and stuff. Yeah, festival season was really cool. It was definitely like my two fave shows that I've ever done, especially Tramlines, because like I grew up going to that festival. Like I volunteered there to like scan tickets to like get a free ticket, and then yeah, like 2 years later I was playing, which I never thought. Like I was always like dreaming I'd play there one day, but I didn't think it would be like now. And it was really cool, like because obviously it's like, you know, they have massive people playing. Well, not like, okay, crop that out. I said not massive. They have massive people. They had huge acts playing there, so like everything's really cool. And like, you know, we got in there. We got like our own dressing room. We have like a fridge of like drinks and stuff. And like my dad like came like backstage with us to like take pictures and stuff, and he was just like fangirling. Like he was, and there was like a sign, like pulp dressing room this way. You're like, oh my god. And like yeah, I remember like at Why Not we got like driven in like a golf buggy like to the stage with all of our stuff, and it was just really cool. At Tramlines I was playing like, my set was like 10 minutes after like the gates opened to the festival on the Saturday. So I was like, oh gosh, like, you know, I had like some friends and stuff come in, and there was like I think I have to run through the park to get there. And I came out. It was so cool because it was like a curtain and like the band started. And then I come out. I was like, oh, I feel like a rock star. And like I obviously like it wasn't that full because the gates have been open for 10 minutes. And like obviously I was so happy to be there. I wasn't like thinking, oh, I can't believe there's not more people here. But then like as it went on, like the tent was filling up, and like by the end it was just so cool. Like to have that many people there, and it was just like, yeah, it was so cool.
We'll just talk. It'll be healing and stuff.